What's good, everybody? Let me go check this audio. Let me go check something. Can it be heard? Can it be heard? That's good latency. That's good latency. So I went ahead and I got BOF 4, but Fire 4. It has no achievement systems. It's kind of like Capcom putting in a PS1 game again, but they released a lot of stuff on Steam that was previously on GOG. It's on sale for a decent price. Back in the day I got it for like 99 cents, so I'm a little spoiled in that regard. That was when the PS Triple used to have like really good sales. So yeah, I'm hoping that giving some love to BOF 4, which I do plan on touching at some point. And I've learned quite a few things about making content with the laptop that maybe Capcom will go, you know what, we should give more love to Breath of Fire. I still want to try Free for the first time. That's one of my top experiences I want to try for the first time. The ever being Xenosaga Free. I wonder where I'm supposed to like go. I guess I'm just gonna hug the wall. There it is. Let's get your magic going. How has some decent range?
Oh, flame burn 'em!
Okay, our axe got up a level.
Now I'm really angry. All right, we won.
Almost looked like a combination spell for a moment. It probably was, to be honest. Damn, okay, yeah, starting to get a little sweet coating-ish with me taking on these soldiers that give out a lot of resources, even though they're not that tough. In these scripted events, too. Alright, I'm gonna need you to heal. Thank you.
Come on, get up!
Alright, protect her. They love getting their hands on Feena for whatever reason. Okay.
Now I'm really angry.
Got that stun off. Get that howl going. It feels like that should cover a bigger range because of how erratic he's moving. Okay, we tanked that shit.
Now I'm really angry. Come on, get up!
Damn. Okay, Okay, at least we got a cancel out of that. Here we go, self.
Now you'll be okay.
I wonder, did I ever give her a heal spell back when I was playing this in 2016?
All right, we won.
I kind of like this game's system of purchasing magic more than how it works in like old school Final Fantasy 1 and 2, where you gotta buy the specific spells. This one is like you just buy the elements and then you build your way up. Of course, this game has like systems, different systems to work with.
Slicing card. Oh, flame burn 'em.
See, a lot of people are kind of going in on Subulebs for not having the very JRPG vocabulary and still speaking about E33 in the year of our Lord 2026. I think my take on that is, hold on, let me. You can have a limited video game vocabulary for JRPGs and only play Final Fantasy games, and then say, okay, well, I would like Final Fantasy to be more like this other game outside the series that reminds me of what it used to be like. But it's not that anymore. I think the difference is that when he starts being critical of the genre as a whole, then you kind of need a better point of reference, because JRPGs are really diverse and varied, and you say, oh man, this game needs to be less like itself in order to attract an audience. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot when you start saying things like that. I get that there's this whole like rage bait to get engagement stuff, and trust me, we've all been there in terms of broke, in terms of needing shitty engagement. But I've said this before on Twitter many moons ago, in the long run, people just kind of like ignore you if you keep doing rage bait stuff. It becomes a little redundant. I mean, he's already starting to get blocks and things of that nature. Yeah, it's because nobody wants to deal with a dude who makes initially a compelling point, but then layers it on with fallacies and kind of demands engagement. I've seen a dude do this like so blatantly. He was making a point about men, the gender war stuff that I actually thought was kind of a compelling point from either perspective. But then he's like, you wanna know how I know these dudes are wilding? Just check the comment section. I'm like, oh, how? As soon as he said that, you wanna know how I know I'm right? I'm like, please don't stay engaged with the post. At that point, if I did like the post, I had to take the like back like TI, which I've done that plenty of times in the past. When someone shot themselves in the foot. Normally I can let a couple fallacies go by, but once you start doing that whole engagement bait thing blatantly, say, oh, I know what this is. Like, I remember, YouTubers in the like, comment, subscribe era being like, oh man, this is whack, but also acknowledging, hey, this actually does build the platform a little bit. But it's another thing to be like, oh man, you agree with me? You disagree with my ridiculous point? You won't see it in the comment section. Like, you're not telling me to comment, but you're gonna like try to reverse psychology my way into commenting. That's kind of the issue I have with Sebi. Mind you, some of his points, like, keep in mind, I'm also a subscriber of the, 7 through 10 is the best era mentality. I would love a game that's like 7. Really 7 and a dash of 9, but you can toss in something like the CTB system of 10. And that's kind of what Fantasian did, and I like Fantasian's boss fights a lot. I think that was Premiere. Anyway, it's interesting. So we go up this dungeon twice, but this time I feel like we're gonna get the boss fight. I wonder, are they gonna try to put that in like a museum somewhere? Oh, this track is fire, by the way. So just to kind of like put a neat bow into it, I don't want someone who's going to try to speak for me because I also have issues with the games in the series post 10, but what they advocate for is, not at all what I want. Like, the people that would want something that's a little bit more retro-y, like the early PS2, PS1 style games, are a little bit better than, okay, I want you guys to be more like Clair Obscure, have the timed hits, have that kind of like consistently dark tone, with only like some humor sprinkled in. Ditch the anime influence completely. And really, when he talks about anime influence in something like 7 Remake, he's really just talking about like the mannerisms of the party members, so the theatrical acting. I'm also very skeptical of 30-year-old boomers, or older boomers I should say, since I've reached my 30s as well, and these guys are in their 40s now. Justin is so gangsta, I love that, by the way. They're like, oh man, the 7 Remake games, they just lack subtlety and nuance, they have all these weird plot elements. They should be more like the Resident Evil remakes. Those are starting to get a little bit more criticism, even though I like watching them. This man needs to pull himself up, man. But you landed on your D, not your rear. Okay, so they learn from their experience. Okay, I like it. This guy had like a nice 30-minute Saturday morning cartoon story arc. See, for a story like this, I don't need, long-form character arcs. Just these like things that resolve in 30 minutes. That's good enough for me because it's kind of a kiddie game. It's that old school One Piece thing where it's just meant to like inspire a desire for adventure in its audience, not so much anything else. Oh, that's not fair to say about this game or One Piece, but kind of feels like I'm dismissing it when in reality we need more stories like Grandia in the JRPG genre because they're a little bit more unique. That's the early portion of Grandia. Now, I was almost going to go to my backup stream, which is going to be Breath of Fire 4. I realized since Ever Crisis is probably coming to a close soon, I can make my backup game something like It or, Breath of Fire 4, I mean. Or even East. I mean, I started my East thing many months ago, so East is something that I want to like try. Playing a little bit more of. Played a decent spread of East games, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm like this super deep East connoisseur. And for a while, it was like a nice therapeutic game. Ironically, like this one because it had the spirit of adventure. So it's a. What I noticed is that a lot of the spirit of adventure games, or stories, or series, if you look at One Piece in particular, it sort of evolves over time into something that's much more than that, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it makes these like little portions much more crush it. East is kind of going through that same evolution, and I can see why some people might not really like that, but I kind of take it for what it is. I got an axe, so I figured an axe would be effective against trees, which is cutting down. Discard inventory. No, discard items. We don't need that. Like, first off, I don't want my Spanish-speaking audience to be grossed out. Like, even take the Garlisle forces as like an antagonistic group. Like, as cartoonish as some of those members are and how they're portrayed, they actually do portray a type of evil that is like real and horrifying, but one that is presented early on to audiences so they can get like a feel for it. And the implication of, like, it's not even an implication, it's explicit what they're doing is, you know, messed up.
Pretty easy, right?
That really played off well. I remember those tree dudes used to whoop my ass. And I realized some things. Okay, let's build up your magic a little bit.
Take this. Not bad, eh?
Take a look. I feel like I'm supposed to eat a nut, and I haven't done that yet. That's why I decided to backtrack. I'm glad you threw it, because my ass would have beaten that nut. Thinking it would be like the language learning nut. The Rosetta Stone nut. That's one thing that I like about fantasy and sci-fi, is that they find ways to make the acquisition of language instantly so convenient. Imagine all I had to do is eat some dulce de habichuela, and I know like Dominican Spanish. I have some miso soup, and now I know Japanese. Unironically, that would save a lot of trouble. You don't gotta go through that like curve. I had to position that correctly. Yeah, let me Let me just nuke these guys, unironically.
Oh, flame, burn 'em! Blast!
What a cinch!
See, I try to rotate that one. Oh, that actually worked.
Oh, flame, burn 'em! Pretty easy.
What a cinch!
Pretty easy, right, Puppy? Not bad, eh?
You've gotta be fucking kidding me. You're gonna drop a resurrection point? User interface in this game is so ass. Like, I just wanted to do something else. Oh man.
See my power!
At least I don't really need a resurrection potion as much as I used to need that type of stuff.
Pretty easy, right, Puppy?
See, that time it let me like decide, do I want auto, or it didn't go to like discard item. Okay, let's see. I'm hoping that was it right there.
See my power!
Oh, flame burn 'em!
All right, we won!
When those silly adventures did give you all the skills you needed. Aside from Leen. Might as well take advantage.
Here goes the boom! Pretty easy, right,
Please do not memory cursor it into discard the next time I want to pick up something. Okay.
Oh, flame burn him!
Get the rear one.
Pretty easy, right, Puppy?
What a cinch!
Take this!
I like how the font for the
Pretty easy.
or the text for the damage didn't go all the way through, so you just saw the 7. I don't want the penis. I wonder, so by now, do I have like 20% of all the money I need cumulatively to get the currency trophy?
Oh, flame burn him!
What a cinch!
But yeah, One Piece chapter is officially out, so I've given out 2 of my basic thoughts for the chapter. One of them is Oracle staff. Okay, so we already have that. So one of them is that M's design, Emu. I'm surprised that the thing that was the most consistent about the design from his silhouetted form to how he actually looks is that Rinnegan eye, which some people say, oh no, that's just how Mihawk's eye looks. And some shots it looks like a fucking Rinnegan, some it looks like Mihawk's eye. Like the ripple pattern and shit. I am surprised by a large number of people that were hoping that Emu would be like an attractive woman, but the silhouette is not all that similar to what I was expecting, but just the fact that the eye of all things is the most consistent, you know, that kind of struck me, and in retrospect, it makes a lot of sense. You know, eyes are the gateway to the soul, so that would be the thing you would want the most consistency with. The other thing is that Marijoy is getting hit with starvation tactics, which is funny because they're using like war crime-esque strategies on the world government, which is like, you know, the big bad. So, I really think, like, even though I have been critical of a lot of these One Piece arcs, whenever it switches to Marijoy or Marijois, I lock in because I know I'm about to be blessed with some sort of interesting insight. When it comes to series that I pay attention to, One Piece, when it's in that main continent, oh man, I'm all about that. I study that. Oh, hell no. So now I see why enemies don't really respawn like that. Fucking hate One Piece so much. Oh, look. Marna, Chola, what are you even doing tomorrow? I keep mistaking them because they got the same illustration. I should give him earth magic at some point. I used to give him fire magic. Let me
Pretty easy.
toss that because I really like some of his battle quotes when he uses fire magic.
burn 'em!
It is kind of weird to me that we're going to get into a direct conflict with Leen.
Pretty easy, right, Puppy?
Also, I watched Casino yesterday. That was a good movie. Never seen it before. When it comes to those crime movies from Martin Scorsese, I'm usually very like skeptical, not because they're inconsistent. I've liked them all so far. It's just that I'm thinking, is this gonna be the one where I'm not really that invested?
Pretty easy.
No, this was really good. I think Goodfellas is a better comfort movie, but the writing on this one was on point, and it's like all the different ways that the story unwinds, especially because it begins in medias res. All of it's kind of interesting. The ending kind of shocked me because like I thought, okay, we're gonna get to like this character dying off, and it's like, nope, he managed to survive and kind of, I guess I shouldn't spoil it, but I think a big point of why that film got so interesting for me is that it primes you into thinking things are going to play out a certain way. And because the opening sequence was shot in a kind of silly way, maybe it's going a different direction. One of the things I liked about Goodfellas is that when you got to the credits, there was that little epilogue segment where you see a little bit more of what happens to the characters after the narrative runs through, but in Casino you don't really get that. Once the credits roll, it's kind of over and done with. Like, the main character, the actor that portrays Lee in Goodfellas has such a comforting presence to him because of his youth, that these older characters in Casino, I was thinking, man, I don't know if I'm gonna really like mess with them, especially because I kept seeing them as their representatives in Goodfellas, and this one's even more narration heavy than Goodfellas, which is impressive. If you've ever heard someone complain about show don't tell, they would have a field day with this narrative, but I actually kind of like when stories are heavy on narration.
What a cinch!
Because you don't have to nerf the story down. Like a mid-wit audience. Hot and spicy. I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah, I think Martin Scorsese, he has like my favorite filmography of any director. That doesn't mean he's my favorite director, just that he's got an impressive resume. I think my favorite would probably be Dario Argento, but we already have another Oracle staff. We don't really need one. So how do I put down someone else? I would say Sharon Stone as the lead actress. I was expecting her to be like this, dominant woman just because of how she's initially presented. Like she was gonna have like this mental edge and be like the trickster type lady, but she ended up being a whole damn mess. So you kind of see her at her peak, and from there on, it's all sort of downhill, which is interesting to be honest, because nowadays we would call that a fumble in a character, but a negative arc is kind of interesting, especially when you contrast her to how she is in the beginning. You're like, oh wow, she really ends up fucked up because of these dudes and because of her own terrible judgments.
Oh, flame burn 'em!
I will say that she does play the seductress role pretty well. I mean, I know her from let's see. I know her from that leg crossing scene, so I know that she's kind of typecasted for those roles. Smart, clever, seductress lady. I had to ask people what film to watch next, and I kind of want to watch Saw. I kind of want to watch The Fifth Element. People told me probably Fifth Element. It's the much more unique experience. I mean, the gory horror of Saw is so ubiquitous, but there's not that many films like Fifth Element. Oh, okay, so it is kind of the same thing. I probably need to get to that save point, I realize. Before I do, I mean... Everyone got so racist towards the final act of that movie. It was actually kind of funny. So this is End of the World. It's kind of like this big, long dungeon. Seriously enough, I wouldn't say it even like caps off the first act of the game, but it does feel like a turning point when you make it through this joint. Oh, we covered a lot of ground with that one.
Not bad, eh?
So, I'm an ABGN fan, James Nintendo nerd and whatnot, Cinemassacre, and I remember in one of his like films I don't really like see what the big hype is. He included The Godfather and said, "Oh man, what about Scarface or Goodfellas?" Or he mentioned a bunch of films, and it's like I've watched enough because I also thought the first Godfather was a little overrated. Not that I don't think it's a good movie, like. I watch it with a lot of adoration. I don't know what to do about all that, by the way. Like, when I discuss the movie and what I think about it, like, there's always like an interesting conversation because some people live and breathe Godfather. So I always tell you all this like interesting lore. But oh man, Goodfellas and Casino, like Those had something. That's not nice. Block the magic of one enemy. There's gonna be a time where I'm gonna wish I had that, so just look at some of these old weapons I have. Hey, what's up? What does that stand for? Gangsta knife? I guess it's to shank people. Ah, torn ACL. How you been? My thick glasses having S would not be able to see Luc Village. Actually, tell us some more about that guy. I thought he was just like some Florida man. Let's see, what should I... I never use these things anyway. Excuse me? Oh, okay. I just needed to stir a little bit. Oh no, you're messing with me now. Let's try to walk it. Let's see if it changes its mind. hell no. Oh, okay, okay. Don't know what that was all about. You gotta really like touch the upper edge, which I don't know about you, but I'd rather stay in the center. Like I'm not chancing it like that. I'm imagining the first boss in this game. So that was deliberate. Okay, it's called a clay bird this time around.
Here goes! Pretty easy, right, Puppy?
Oh wow. So they changed the arrangement of that. Yeah, that's how you know this is gonna be a long haul. I wonder if wind is actually gonna do a lot of damage to them, considering the fact that they're flying.
Not bad, eh?
Okay, we got the knife just in time. Hell no. Trust. I like it. Now it's grumpier, the music. Ayo, game designers, please don't say that what you worked on is boring, because you know, I know this from essays I've done. People will start to like turn on your own creation. they're gonna be like, wow, this man is right. This is boring and we shouldn't take this anymore. I've seen it happen with my own music where people have gone from like, oh wow, I'm really messing with this, to breaking into like musical theater performances about how I need to be ran out the stage. But then again, yeah, of course, she would find this kind of arduous. We are going through it. Where does that come from? Let me try to get as much dinero as I can. Oh, torn meniscus. Oh well. I'm a little sick at the moment. No way to drop. Oh, I see what it is. I see what it is. Let's see. So far, so good. Ah, you got me with them back shots. Good thing Justin's like a speed blitzer now. Try to win neutral on him. Okay, Sue, I'm gonna need you to just stay on the offensive. I kind of miss when she was our long range lady, but oh, hold on, let me eat this. should have by now. Yeah. Someone had a conversation with me on the phone that I am glad did not get picked up on the mic. I'm glad when I muted it that it worked, because otherwise I'm gonna have to spend a long time editing.
Now you'll be okay.
This is what I hate about like live streaming when like, other people in the house have a day off, is that a lot of times they're not really mindful of things like other ears. But that time it was like I was muting it, so I wasn't at the mercy of a lot of this nonsense. Still paranoid as hell. Still hope that all of that was muted out. Especially the way she's been speaking lately, man. It's just obnoxious as hell. Getting hit with some flashes. Blasted dick attack. Well, I guess I could think of it as like an elephant trunk, but maybe I just got dick on the brain, that's all. It's not the worst thing in the world. Fuck. Burn flame.
Oh, flame burn him!
Where the fuck did my phone go? You guys are gonna have to forgive me. It's on my foot. How the hell did it get on my feet? Whatever. Okay, heal yourself.
Come on, get up! Blast!
They all got hit. That's actually really good. Not for much, but you know, it's still something. Okay.
Oh, flame burn him!
I'm gonna have her use her knife attacks now. Uh-oh. So once they start hitting you with the AoEs, that's when you're in trouble. Okay. whole party. Was that a little excessive? Honestly, no, because I would have been taken way back if I let that kill me.
Don't do it! Strike through!
Damn. Yeah, just give them a quick kickoff.
Now you'll be okay.
I was so close to a game over. That fight was so relative. Maybe I should have checked that whole locale out. I'll be real with you, this is a terrible place to camp. So yeah, there are moments where Justin has like some sense of doubt, even though he's this optimistic dude. So, imagine if he turned his way all the way down after making it to the top like this. I mean, either way, he would have to get up the next day, not even go up that one flight of stairs. Just so they got drone technology. Which doesn't really surprise me. I mean, like, it's the trope that ancient tech has advancements far beyond, you know, modern tech and these JRPGs. It is a fantasy trope that arguably goes back to Tolkien. Maybe even Gilgamesh. I might have to check that out, but what does surprise me is that in 1997 drone technology wasn't as advanced as it was in the 2010s and 2020s. Like, it wasn't a fixture of modern warfare the way it is now. But here we see it in a 1997 video game. I mean, the idea was there. Hey, yo, watch where you put your hand. These guys have to be overpowered as shit if they can fall off of that. And a big leaf is what's protecting them. I mean, that shit would need the cushioning power to, like, elastically cover that whole wall. Oof, that would have been a blow if I died right then and there. So we're running into like the next missable trophy, but most people get it because you would have to be kind of weird with your dialogue choices. It seems more like a glitch trophy than anything else.
Oh, flame burn 'em!
Ah, man.
Here goes! Ha!
What a cinch!
So we're actually getting close to a point where it might actually do me good to ramp up the stream in a bit. I'm glad I got to like play this game because when I left my room I thought, oh man, I'm gonna have to go play Breath of Fire 4. That ended up not being the case, which is great because as much as I love Breath of Fire 4, I really want to cover ground with this joint.
Here goes! Oh, flame burn 'em!
Explain that Sue kind of has this move first.
Pretty easy.
Nice.
Oh, flame burn 'em! Blast!
What a cinch!
Here goes! Ha! Oh, flame burn 'em!
Actually, I'm curious. Does she have enough magic to use her level 3 fire stuff?
Pretty easy.
Let's take a look. Fan fruit.
Oh, flame burn 'em! Blast!
Damn. Ten cuidado.
Now you'll be okay.
All right, we won! cinch.
Let's focus on your next play.
What a cinch.
Okay, that's not going to be as useful as I thought it would be.
Oh, flame burner! Not bad, eh?
Health weed. So like them CBDs. You know, as much as people are pro like GMO at times or anti-GMO, I've never seen anyone say, you know what, that K2 spice is better for you than real weed. K2 spice is like, okay, let's just take the weirdest part of weed and make that ingredient the whole drug and watch people tweak out.
Oh, flame burner!
But dance move is more relevant than the drug the dance move represents. These days I actually see a lot of like doctors sing a different tune about GMOs. They're starting to sound crunchier these days. And not too long ago there was like this big like anti-crunch
All right, we won.
movement, which again I'm in the middle ground when it comes to that. Like, really can't play like strategically at the moment. Oh, I can do it a little bit. Like this will help out a lot. Actually, not that much, because they were more spread out than I thought.
All right, we won.
Justin being broken is a great goal. Okay, important feedback. Get your ass on my channel, man. I mean, why the fuck is my thumb not working? Did I damage my thumbprint with like all these dishes that I washed? It was good. I might have like destroyed my fingerprint or some shit like that.
Slice the car.
All this stuff without a save point, man. Like they really want to like emphasize attrition with this. That's right, Justin. I see you. Oh man. Stomach is fucking hurting.
What a cinch.
No, it's not my stomach, man. It's so bad. My throat. Oh wow, a clue. Let's take a look. I wonder if that's a key item. Oh, did not mean to target you, but... Oh, that would've been nice. Hey, that actually worked out.
Pretty easy.
Okay, let me give that to you. So healing items are starting to become a little bit more in depth. So there's a lot that got foreshadowed with that end of the world dungeon, but most of it is like character stuff. There's not that much like interesting like storytelling in terms of like lore with that wall, ironically. We don't need that. Let me make my way back. Okay, so let's go to the inventory. We gotta throw something out. We need those. How far did Sue go?
What a cinch.
You know, I should have probably used that antidote, but whatever. Nothing with like range to it, or area of effect, I mean.
Oh, flame burn 'em!
That had a little bit of earth, but that actually helped out. As I said before, I feel like Bernie Mac and his uncle in that one episode of the Bernie Mac show where they were trying to explain to little girls playing soccer, hey, yo, you gotta like space out. Can't just be bunching. Although in this case, I kind of want the enemies to bunch up so I can do area of effect attacks. I feel like that's why dunking used to be so like satisfying back in the day, because
Pretty easy.
now it's like dunking is what you get from like spacing out before. Now she has some level 3 magic. So it was like dunking was an area of effect, because if you were strong and explosive enough, you could just kind of knock 4 or 5 dudes down. And you don't really have that like AoE equivalent. Maybe like a crossover breaking 2 dudes' ankles. Whoever cracks the code on that is going to cause like the next revolution.
All right, we won.
That's nice and all, but let me get to a save point at least.
Hey, you. Is this pot yours? What happened to what was inside?
Are you hungry? I'm afraid I ate it all. There's nothing left.
Feena! That does it. Hey, come on and fight. I'll take you on. I'll make you into stew.
Ha! You and I in a duel. Well, how about that? I'll be glad to take you on. I am Gadwin, Knight of Dight.
Okay, so Gadwin is a cool character. Oh, they give us all our resources.
Slicing car!
So he's about to do some shit, so let's tank it. You already know where this is going. So I got an interrupt out of that. Let's try magic. See if I fare better with that. Okay, critical. Go with some range.
Power of the universe! Ha! Dragon King Slice!
Really uses his ultimate attack. See, that's what happens when you let Shorty's getting into hysterics gas you up. He thought Gadwin would cannibalize Sue, but that's not really the case. So this is missable dialogue. You will be even more impressive crossing the wall from the other side. There's so many port towns in this game. I think the only place we've been to that wasn't a port town is Luc Village. Okay, so I got that missable trophy. I was being very careful with my button prompts, like when I press buttons, because you know, if I select the text box and I choose a wrong option, oof, it's gonna be terrible. So there's only 4 missable trophies left for me in this game. Three are related to optional dungeons, and one is related to, you know, collecting all the mana orbs. So, that's gonna do it for today. How long have I been streaming this? 2 hours. I've been doing shorter sessions lately. That's not really deliberate, but you know, in spite of that, I get a lot done with this game. I mean, how many trophies do I have? 19. So we'll resume this tomorrow on Tuesday. This has been your boy Mr. Wonka 7. Thank you guys for watching, and suck my dick.